Hello, greetings from Oseikrom and welcome to Mind Your Business. Have you heard? The Fabulous Woman Network turns 10 this year. We have so many things to be grateful for. And as I've been reflecting on this experience, these past few months, because obviously we are preparing for our big celebration, I have also been thinking about some of the lessons I have learned from this journey as founder of the Fabulous Woman Network, working with an amazing team. And today on this episode of Mind Your Business, I want to share some of the lessons I have learned along the way with you. Are you ready? Grab your cuppa and let's do this.
Fab Hub Ashanti, a haven nestled at the tip of Kumasi, where fresh air meets serenity. Fab Hub Ashanti is a residential learning and event space perfect for your corporate training, staff retreat, group hangouts, and wedding receptions. With 4 rooms and 15 beds, you and your group can sleep comfortably. What makes us special? Fab Hub Ashanti is not just a space, it's a commitment. By choosing us, you support community projects empowering women and youth. Join us at Fab Hub Ashanti off Aful Junction, Abuabukesi, Kumasi. Fab Hub Ashanti, here we grow.
Hi, I am Ahmed Duncan, founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. Before 2015, I was that broke girl who was stuck in her own limiting belief of not enoughness. Marianne Williamson's words, "You are a child of God," woke me up. And then I sought help to work on myself. I still invest heavily in my personal development, and so much has changed for me in the most incredible ways. My burning desire is to see an Africa in which women are empowered to thrive and impact people. I am a trainer, coach, author, social entrepreneur, and an event organizer who is passionate about helping others on their own personal development journey so that together we can all thrive as fabulous children of God. Mind Your Business is our weekly podcast which is free on YouTube. Here we share enriching content to help us all thrive as fabulous children of God. And if you prefer to work with me one-on-one, please go to my website ahmedduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me. Welcome back. So before I start on the lessons, let me just say that it's been a beautiful journey, honestly. I've had so many positive feedback. Just recently, my husband and I, we were somewhere, we were waiting for my daughter, and then we met one of our past events and even current event participants. She's one of the amazing ladies in our network, and she is currently the CEO of this big hotel. And she was going on and on about how she attended one of our events 7 years ago. It was called networking, something on networking. I forgot the exact title. And she's so grateful. She talks about how that experience was a game changer for her, and it's boosted her confidence. And she went on, because at the event she realized that she was too much in her shell and there was so much she was able to offer, and once she came out of it, she just keeps rising and rising. To God be the glory, right? I've had past event participants reaching out, thanking me, some sending me money. Like last December, I just greeted in one of the groups, I just typed more and more, in Ghana, like the accounts. Instead of good morning, we just say more and more. So I just posted that, and this person just sent me money and then is thanking me for the event. That was last year's IFAB. And so many others, people have sent me money just out of the blue. Years after the events, I don't know what triggers it, but they would send me money or a thank you, a nice message or something, And personally, I've also had the opportunity to be on a few fellowships, including the Mandela Washington Fellowship, African Women Entrepreneurs Cooperative, Yali, and others that I can't even remember now, but obviously it's somewhere on my CV. because of the journey of the Fabulous Woman Network. So I've had personal gains. My business has had gains as well. Currently, we are employing 8 people. Some of them are from the Fabulous Woman Network's project called Fab Youth Camp. You know, we've employed some of them, and many positive things. And I've had people, you know, because I'm beating up gong gong about the fact that it's our anniversary, people are sending me congratulations here and there. And yeah, I'm so grateful, and we have a lot to be grateful for. God knows I feel very, very grateful. But, and that's a big B-U-T, it hasn't always been rosy. And in fact, it's not even about hasn't been, it is not always rosy. You know, as I was thinking about how to put this episode, and God help me with the right words to speak to you, I was thinking about, you know, how you have like the back end and the front end. So the front end is what people see, and usually it's beautiful, it's tidy, you know, tip top, as my husband and I will joke. But then there's always the back end that outsiders don't get to see. Only internal people get to see. It's like marriage, you know, you and your husband would pose in a beautiful picture and all is lovely and all, but within the marriage and even the picture, what you have to go through to take that, you don't see that in the picture, right? It hasn't always been rosy, and it's not always rosy. In fact, this particular morning, right before doing this video, I was sitting here feeling miserable. Why? Long story that I'm not even going to go into here, because I have other things I want to share on this particular issue of the ugliness. Is there a word? Yeah, you know, that there's the ugly part that we don't show. And yeah, why show it really? Because it's too ugly. I mean, I want to put out things that inspire, things that encourage and motivate. But the truth is, behind that, there is also the ugly part. And today I want to focus on some of the embarrassing situations I've had to deal with, because I decided that, listen, God has laid this on my heart. I'm not even sure what God is doing with the Fabulous Woman Network, but I want to pursue it. Some of you may know at some point I even quit my job to focus full-time on this. And by God's grace, it has been the most beautiful experience. But I've had so many embarrassing situations. And this reminds me of this poem, The Man in the Arena. I think that's the title, you know, where this person is fighting, is all bloody, perhaps teeth removed, eyeballs probably bulging out. This hasn't been my physical experience, but there's been times where I felt like this was what was happening to me, including this morning. Let me give an example with events. You know, some of the ladies in my mastermind one time, a couple of years ago, said, oh, Mama, you should organize a training on how to do events. And one person even said, I will sign up. And then another person keeps saying, yeah, do it. Because they think I organize events and they are beautiful, they are impactful and all. But only God knows the embarrassment I have personally faced because of events. Sometimes I'm sitting on stage interviewing the panelist or something, and I'm looking and I'm spotting all the things that are wrong, and I can't even focus, and I'm feeling so embarrassed. Either the food is not served well, or you know, I would get some feedback that it's cold, or the equipment didn't work, and this is equipment we've invested money in, and the D-Day is not working, and you know, I'm like multiple things. And I'm sitting there feeling embarrassed because I've invited all these lovely people and I really wanted them to have a beautiful experience. I wanted the equipment to work for them. I wanted them to enjoy the food. I wanted them to enjoy the networking, take notes, be impacted and all. But then things are not going as I would want it, right? And I'm feeling embarrassed. so many times after an event, I don't even want to think about it, instead of reflecting on what could have gone better, like, what we can do to improve, celebrate what we did well, and then think about what we can do to improve. I'm like, I have blocked my mind, because if I go back there, if my memory goes to those areas, that event, the moment of it, I feel so embarrassed. It's so deep. I don't know if I can make you understand, but I feel so embarrassed. Like, I feel like I've let myself down, I've let God down, I've let the people who came down, and I feel so bad. These are some of the embarrassing situations that I don't know if you get it, but think about something that really embarrassed you. This is how I felt. And then there's been moments where we've shared such beautiful stories. I remember this particular story we shared about a doctor who is also a lawyer. It was such a beautiful story. We had so many positive feedback of how it's impacting people. People are, having change of mind and heart and blah, blah, blah. And then I get this feedback some time later about how there were so many mistakes, so many typos. And then all of a sudden, I forget all the positive responses. And I'm thinking only about the typos. And I'm like, my God, why didn't I pick them? I mean, it's only someone who is not good enough who would just allow things to be published when they are not, excellent. And some of these embarrassing moments would make me feel that I am not good enough, because if I were, I certainly would have picked that up before it came up, and sometimes I'll just beat myself up. Thankfully, I think I'm better at this, but this is the journey of the last 10 years. Sometimes I'll beat myself up thinking about all the mistakes. But you know what? It is through these mistakes that I have also learned. It is through these mistakes that I'm getting better. It is because of these mistakes that I am actually better and I keep going, because I have learned from the mistakes. So as I've been reflecting, and really the core of my message is that the mistakes really are what is teaching you. And now I'm bringing this to you. Whatever it is that you're doing and you're making mistakes and you are beating yourself up, if this applies to you, these mistakes are actually the gems that are teaching you to do it better. So instead of being so afraid and anxious about the mistakes, which sometimes is my story, instead of this, let's be grateful for the mistakes, because they are helping us grow. They are helping us become better. Listen, there are some things that no matter how many books you read on them and how many courses you take, you still have to experience them in order to understand, in order to figure out what could go wrong, in order to learn from that mistake so you can get better. You can't just sit and then everything comes to you. You have to go through the process. And in the going through of the process, you will make those mistakes. They will become embarrassing. Think of the man in the arena, in this case, the woman in the arena making all the mistakes. Listen, something just came to mind that I think I should share. Some of you may know that I've been training on customer service. This was way before I even became founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. This is my profession, and I used to train on customer service and all that. Now imagine the company that is training on customer service having a terrible customer service. These are some of the embarrassing situations I've dealt with, where not even just my employee, but I myself gave poor customer service. And then I will remember that, oh no, or I will realize that, oh no, this is what I did and it was wrong, and I feel so embarrassed. Like, what was I even thinking? And yes, I go through that. And there's this thing that sometimes I wonder, sometimes in the moment of it, I'm like, hey, so the people I admire, I wish I could mention names, because some of the names are coming like here, they are on the tip of my lips. I'm thinking, this and that person that I admire, do they also get embarrassed like this? Do they go through embarrassing moments? I don't know whether they do or not. Maybe they will write about it and I'll read. But hey, if you're sitting there and you're one of the people congratulating me or you are thinking, oh, Amma has done well, I want you to understand that I have had a lot of embarrassing situations just because I put myself out there and I'm learning and I'm not giving up in all this 10 years and hopefully more, right? There are two questions that we have come to polish at the Fabulous Woman Network. After every event, we ask ourselves two questions. What did we do well? Where did we shine? What did we do well? And what can we improve on next time? Or what can we polish? So instead of asking what did we do well, yes, and what didn't we do well, we have changed it to what can we improve on? Because we realize that we can't go back to change what has happened already. We can't beat ourselves up because something didn't go right. But there's always an opportunity next time, especially if we intend to keep going with this. We are passionate about it. We want to do whatever it is we are doing, supporting women, youth, organizations with their leadership, personal development. We want to keep going, right? So it means there will be more opportunities to do better. And so we ask ourselves, what can we improve on? And these questions have been a game changer for us because we are not beating ourselves up, but we are having the mindset of people who are learning. So we are learning. We are learners. And one of our values, even for the Fabulous Woman Network and for Fab Youth Camp, is learning. We learn. We are learners. We see ourselves as learners. So we are not beating ourselves up anymore. Even if the thought comes and we think, oh, I'm not good enough, that's why that happened. We are reminding ourselves that we are learners. And we keep learning, we keep iterating, we keep getting better and better and better. So the cra of this episode of Mind Your Business is that I just want to encourage you, perhaps in this new year or in this season of your life, God has laid something on your heart and you are doing it, and maybe you are afraid that you will make mistakes, or the mistakes are already popping like ugly pimples, right? They are popping, and then you're like, oh my God, I've let you down, or the people you're working with have let you down or something. First of all, I'm sending you hearts, hugs, and love. Hugs and love. And listen, we are all in this together. We are all learning. But I can assure you, it is ugly before it gets beautiful. So your congratulations will come in due time. But please keep going. Just know that the mistakes and all this ugly parts, they are all part of the experience of growing. And as long as you keep growing, you keep experiencing moments where you feel like you have no idea what you're doing. And it's fine. It's all part of the learning experience. So I want to encourage you to keep going. Keep going. It really does get better because it really is ugly before it gets beautiful. This is how I wrap up this episode of Mind Your Business. Hey, if you're a woman in our community, look out for information on IFAB 2025, which also happens to be the celebration of our 10th anniversary. If you haven't registered to be in our community, please click on the link to register. Until I see you again, it's ta, toodles. Bye.
Mind Your Business is one of our free resources available on YouTube. And if you prefer to work with me one-on-one as your coach, as a consultant, or as a trainer, it starts with a discovery call. Head to amaduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me.